Hey, greetings, fellow slinging agents in the wild. It's your trusted handler, Brian, welcoming you once again back to the digital rage room. You know, we got radio silence all this week, no comments over on the YouTube channel. That just means we get to the action that much quicker. So you know what? Let's not waste any time. Let's just warm up our dice and top off our glass as Roll the Hard 20 presents episode 10 of our Delta Green homebrew scenario, Collateral Damage. Enjoy.
I'm waiting for the Samwise TikTok channel. I'll be your first subscriber.
I have to learn how to dance and lip sync, all that stuff.
You're not going to put on blackface, are you?
No.
Can't do that anymore.
Can you do it any less?
I've been doing my transition from dwarf into human, though. It's been taking me a while, but I'm getting taller. My beard's getting shorter, so it's been working well.
You look good. You look good. You know, I was thinking to myself this past week, because I had a lot of time to reflect during my days in school.
Fucking jail's a bitch, dude.
I know, man. It really is, especially when you're making your own bail or your own pruno, one of the two.
County's better than state or federal.
You know, every time we sit behind the virtual eye of destiny in our digital rage rooms here, I always think about how every time we do this, it is an event. It's not just about playing a game. It's about bringing us together, people that we've known for decades, literally. And how awesome that is that even though we're spanning the entire continental U.S., that we still get together for 1 hour a week, regardless of the time zone, and spend that hour together. And with that, I'd like to raise my glass and cheers to everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers, hail.
Let me lead us in, and let's begin this. Greetings, fellow. Where the fuck did he go?
Just turned on the light. I didn't think you needed to.
He's there.
That's the best. We're going to lead us in.
Dips out.
Damn, put your pants back on.
Again?
Let me lead
You
this
paid me
in.
good money to take them off. Greetings, fellow slingers. Welcome back to Roll the Hard 20 podcast. It is I, your trusted handler, Brian, and with me, my hard slingers of yore.
Hell.
Episode 10 of our Delta Green homebrew scenario, Collateral Damage. So right now, both teams currently have leads. Well, back at the DC Metro PD, a call came in from one Mama Fontenot, and after a brief discussion, Coldwell pieced together that her son and the main suspect in the prostitute murders was indeed her son Darius Fontenot, one of Holy Boy's lieutenants. Together with Detective Baker and his two men, Coldwell and Rice headed back to the Potomac Garden apartments. Meanwhile, acting on a lead of their own, Adesso and Kimura once again borrowed the keys to TEA Dillon's car and headed over to the First Continental Bank before it opened, hoping to ID the one called Eugene as he arrived for work. After seeing all the employees arrive and allowed inside the bank, you approached the bank and spoke with the branch manager, Eli Baum, who told you Eugene had called in this morning. When asked, he gave you Eugene's address and showed you his teller workstation, where you discovered 3 unfolded $10 bills bearing unusual sigils upon them. You informed Mr. Baum that you'd be taking collection of them when he said he would feel more comfortable if a Treasury agent were here during this transaction. Each and Adesso.
Yeah.
You have Mr. Eli Baum before you. Everybody else is currently outside of the bank. What would you like to do?
Well, out of game real quick, telling this guy if he's going to be putting up a stink, we could sit there and call up TSA agent Dalton. How do we pick him up? Because we have his car, you know, all this, that, the other. Or we just sick the fucking lawyer on him and say, oh, okay, you want to this, that? Okay, well, you know what? Why don't we call them down? They'll close down the bank and they'll do all this and, you know, give them the fucking, you know, Agent Karen, dude.
No problem. Can do.
I'll put in the sweetener at the end once you're done.
Yeah. All right, back in game. Mr. Baum, I appreciate your position. I really do. Here's the issue. We're working on a very compressed time schedule, and I'm happy to provide you with whatever documentation you need. We are working in conjunction with a Treasury agent, and currently we have his car. He can't make it down here. But if you were to deny us access to these bills on grounds of you'd rather have him do it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut your bank for the day. So it would behoove you to get us out of your hair. Otherwise, we're going to have to shut down the bank, and then I'm going to have to do a complete investigation as to everything so that when he gets here, he will know what to get and what to retrieve and what documentation to provide you to ensure that you have yourself covered and it can explain why you lost a day's worth of business transactions. That's where we're at.
So, Mr. Baum, why are you so concerned about not handing these over to us? I mean, I know that they're in Eugene's drawer, but aren't you the one kind of running the show here? I mean, I look at Agent Adesso. Do you think that there's more here than just, like, I don't know, do we need to bring in someone for questioning or anything like this to?
Why would you need to bring me in for questioning? I'm just the branch manager here. That's not my drawer, though. That's.
But you're in
Eugene
charge of this
Abernathy's
place, right? Yeah, you're in charge of this. And well, then, why are you so hesitant to hand us 3 bills? Tell you what, Ichi goes into his pocket wallet, takes out $3 bills. If you're so worried about the drawer,
$3 or 3 tens?
Sorry, the 3 tens. Ichi reaches into $3. No, Ichi will.
I may be Jewish, but I'm not gonna do that.
Ichi will reach in, grab his wallet, and take out 3 $10 bills, and say, "Here, if you're worried about the drawer being short, please take this. We're not trying to make a fuss here. We simply have some bills that we've found. There's no evidence yet that it goes further than this. But if you're going to cause us a delay in our investigation, well, then maybe we will look into this further. Maybe it does." Agent Odysseus, do you think this goes farther than just this, or what do you think?
It very well may. I mean, it seems like such a simple request, and being since we've made the till whole, it doesn't make a difference between one or the other. But like I said, we can make a federal case out of this.
Oh, wait, I have nothing to do with this. So
you say. You may say that now. You may.
I'm going to say it then too. But why don't you make a persuasion check? And because he's already on the heels of his feet right now, give it with 20% bonus to it.
All right, I got to get under 55. I am not persuasive at all. That was a 71. Perhaps each could punch him in the face. That has a tendency to make people real persuasive. I'm real cooperative.
Am I able to make a try?
You may.
Okay. So I have the money, and I'll move over to Mr. Eli Baum and say, "Mr. Baum, here's the 3 $10 bills. Your operations won't be short for the day. Now, you can allow us to take these. I will say you can allow us, or you can tell us no, and then we will call everyone down here and open up an investigation, because there are some issues here. And currently, you are prohibiting us from continuing on with our investigation." And the roll, do I get a 22 or 20% also?
20% also.
Okay. I got a 27 out of 73 now with my 20 extra points.
He looks at the two of you. He takes your 3 tens and says, "Please leave now. I don't want any more problems."
Okay. Well, we'll be contacting you later should we find any issues. But please feel free to open up the bank. Please tell everyone else that they can come back in, and we will be out of your... Does he have a lot of hair? Hair.
He's got a halo.
All right, right on. We'll be out of your corona.
We've taken off your scalp.
He watches the two of you leave the bank and head back towards the Silver Charger. At the same time, he motions for the rest of his employees to come in, as well as the patrons and the security guard that have arrived afterwards. As his employees gather around him, he's kind of like, you see him through the glass doors, kind of motioning and flailing about, pointing in your direction, pointing over at Eugene's area behind the counter, and that's just kind of goes on and on as you guys enter the car.
All right, I say we get out of here and update Heisenberg, and we have the address, we have the bills. So
Okay, make your call.
Right. We'll go outside and I'll call Heisenberg
from the car as we're leaving, right?
from the car. From the car.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll whip out the phone and call Heisenberg.
Odysseus.
Heisenberg, we've made some progress on our latest case, at least our side of it. What we have are the bills in our custody that we have retrieved from the bank. And we're on our way to speak with the teller. His name is Eugene Abernathy. He lives over at 760 Main Avenue, Southwest, The Wharf, DC. Shouldn't take us too long. According to my GPS here, we should be there in about 10 minutes.
Okay. Have you heard from the other 2 agents?
Not yet. Met with them this morning. We gave them us a complete debrief, but we just left the bank, so we saw them about an hour ago. Haven't had a debrief since.
Okay. I just got off the phone with a handler that's local to your area right now, and he's given me 20 minutes with a green box he has custody of in your area. From my understanding, it's about 5 miles away from you.
Excellent.
Now,
Hopefully we won't need anything heavier than what we got, but can't hurt to go take a look.
Not at all.
if you're gonna go, you gotta go there before you go anywhere else. Because they said they're only gonna hold the door for so long. Just
Send
take
us
what
the
you
address.
need.
Yeah.
Let the agent there know what it's about and get out of their hair.
Who is the agent we're going to be interfacing with?
Agent,
Just so- Sorry.
Agent River.
So for the audience listening, every time we ask him a name that he doesn't have one, he looks over to his bookshelf and looks at the different DVDs and books and everything. That's why there's always so many Agent Archers or Agent Bourne.
Got it, Heisenberg. We'll be on our way. Just text me the address. And then something occurs to Odysseus. After I hang up from Heisenberg, I'm going to call Agent Coldwell. My purpose is to figure out if he wants anything from the green box, because chances are we'll be able to resupply before he will. Maybe.
Back at the Potomac Garden Apartments, Agent Coldwell, Agent Rice, Detective Baker, and his 2 other agents, you stand in Holy Boy's apartment, surrounded by decapitated bodies, their heads missing. Currently, Omega and Odin, who are Rice and Coldwell respectively, stand in Holy Boy's back room. His headless body is sitting in his leather chair, and at his feet is an older individual with the head missing, wearing a crumpled up, cheap suit. From behind you, you hear Detective Baker say, "Oh my gosh, is that Haynes down there?" And you realize that is the headless body of Detective Haynes. As you're looking around at this carnage, Coldwell, the phone in your pocket begins to vibrate.
I pick up the phone, look at it. Who's calling?
You see it is Agent Odysseus.
Okay. I'll answer the phone. This is Odin.
Odin, Odysseus. You okay? Am I interrupting something?
Better tell me we got good news. I just walked into a shit show here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We do have some good news. We were able to pick up the remaining bills from the bank, and we're on our way to talk to the teller who is distributing them. He's out in the wharf in DC. We're going to swing by and pick up some things from a green box, and I wanted to know if you wanted anything.
Get us some armor plates, a few automatic weapons, and whatever else you think that we might require. I got to let you guys know, we found Detective Haynes at Holy Boy's. Didn't look so good for him. Holy Boy, Detective Haynes, and a couple of his goons all seem to have been decapitated here. We're just walking into the scene.
Wow. That's got to be pretty tough, man. That's going to be a big deal. Okay, so any signs of struggle?
Don't know yet. Agent Omega and myself are going to do some more digging and see what we find. I'll contact you as soon as we get anything.
Gotcha. All right. I'm going to load you guys up for bear, so I'll see you soon.
Appreciate it. Odin out.
Adesso, as you hang up, a text comes across your phone. 2301 Lawrence Avenue, Northeast. It pulls up as a public storage facility that's 5 miles away from your current position.
Got it.
Rice and Coldwell, as you both stand amongst this carnage with Detective Baker and his men, a lot of thoughts start going through Baker's mind and his other two men. And he's immediately wondering what the hell happened here. Agents, what's going on? Have you seen shit like this before? Holy fuck. Really?
Agent Baker, was Detective Haynes knew that Holy Boy was a CI of yours, or?
No, he didn't know that at all. In fact, I try to keep that on the down low because everybody, all the detectives run their own CIs. Sometimes we exchange information between one another, but outside of that, in order to prevent any kind of cross-contamination between our CIs and to make sure we get the freshest information, we don't tell each other about that. No, I think that he just had an axe to grind with Holy Boy.
I want to pull Omega to the side and let him know. Omega, just got a call from Odysseus. Says he's going to be picking up some party favors for us. I filled him in on what's going on in our situation, and we'll update him as we go. How do you want to go through this investigation? You want to look at the lacerations, pick up devices. We got Agent Baker here to assist us in whatever we need.
Party favors? What do you mean, guns? Is he going to get us guns? Lots of guns?
Definitely guns. Guns and body armor. I mean, if there's a request, he said they're on their way to pick up things.
Oh, good. Okay. I can't wait to see it. I'm excited. Let's go. The scene? Questions about the scene? What do we do now? I don't know that there's much we can do here. It's like their heads are missing. What are you going to learn from that?
We got to see at least if there's the same cuts that we've seen previously.
I don't know that you're going to get anything. We should be looking for Holy Boy's man, the guy with the eye patch. That guy. We should be looking for him. Who cares
Are you all
about?
right, man? You gotta get it together, man. Come on.
No,
I'm vouching for you. Just come on. I know you need that little pep in your step, but come on, stay focused.
I'm trying to stay focused, but I feel like I got to do some push-ups.
All right.
Baker's looking at the two of you off in the distance like, what the fuck is this Abbott and Costello bullshit? He turns back to Detective Arello and Detective Barkley, and they start huddling up and talking amongst themselves, and they're looking at the 5 headless bodies in the main room. They're looking back at Haynes and Holy Boy's bodies, and they start wrapping their head around what's going on, and they start trying to formulate something, kind of keeping the two of you out of the loop at this point.
Shoot. See, I wanted to see if I can make an observation or alertness if I catch that. Because, I mean,
you can make an observation if you would like.
Okay. All right. I have to do under 70. All right. Come on. Oh, 8. Perfect.
Nice.
You hear him speaking to the other 2 detectives. Where's Grizzly and Half Tank?
Cool. Good names.
Yeah,
I don't
those are
see
good
their
names.
bodies here, and I don't see Darius.
At that point, Colwell will call out to... They're just unis, right?
No, they're detectives.
They're detectives as well?
They're the ones that have been running with Haynes, but they're all plainclothes detectives just like he was.
Okay.
So.
I thought we had unis on the scene. Sorry. Yeah. All right. Hey, gentlemen, can you do me a favor? Can you see if you could help me identify these bodies? It's very critical that we know who's here and who's not.
Yeah, Frank, why don't you take the headless ones with Barkley and see who's out here in the main hallway, and I'll go into the Holy Boy's room. Well, yeah, sure, you get to identify the ones that are easy. Nothing about this is easy. Just do it, Frank. So he goes into the room with you 2 gentlemen, and he looks down at Haynes' body. He's like, well, that's Tom Haynes, and that's...
I meant like in the living room. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Sure. Let me know if I could be of any more assistance to you agents on my case, please. And he goes back out to the living room and starts looking and with Frank and Jared to see who these individuals are.
I thought, oh, okay. Sorry. This is just me screwing this up completely. Sorry. I meant like the 2 detectives that were talking, send them out of the room and leave Haynes in with us.
Oh, okay. So he'll tell them, all right, Frank, why don't you and Jared go out there and look at the bodies out there in the living room. See if you get an ID on them. Oh, yeah, sure. Thanks a lot, Tim. I mean, Detective Baker, you're our boss now, right? So they go out to the living room and they start looking at these headless bodies.
Detective Baker, there is, of course, you know, Darius. Do you know his whereabouts? Do you know where he lives, where he might stay?
Well, from what his mother said on the phone this morning, his last name's Fontenot. I did have a little bit of a text back there with the precinct, and they gave me some information as to where his current residence is. And you're not going to believe it, but he's 1 floor above us right now. At least that's where he lives.
All right. Wonderful. What is the name? Just start blasting.
Right through the floor.
Have you heard any names in conjunctions with Grizzly or Half Tank?
No, and my CI hasn't said anything about it either. It looks like these were just a couple of the meatheads that he picked up that were pretty thick muscle. They were the 2 individuals that were standing behind him that night that Haynes and you 2 came up here. But if I don't see their bodies here, I don't know. These men don't strike me as the type to run in fear.
Okay. Omega, what are you doing over there? You're still doing push-ups?
Fucking grinding his teeth.
No, Omega is literally like just walking all around this room, just like frantically, just
crime scene.
He
Picking
cannot
shit up, putting it down.
He can't focus like on anything. So he is literally just walking around the room like in circles, just looking at stuff for a moment, taking some haphazard notes in his notebook.
We're just fucking doodles and shit. Like stick figures.
Get out. That's a dog.
Odin, what are we doing? What are we going to do here? Come on, we got to go.
We're heading upstairs. Apparently Darius lives in the same building, just a floor above us.
Oh, really? Oh, do we need to wait for the other agents or do we need to go now?
We're going now.
All right, let's go. Lead the way.
Baker looks at you, Odin, and the first thing he thinks is this guy a fucking liability? To the point where he actually whispers that to you. You know, we've got an apartment with 7 decapitated dead people here. And now we're going to go upstairs, a floor up, to confront the individual or individuals that did this. And your boy's chattering like one of those Halloween sets of teeth that just go ape shit on the countertop all night long. I am a little concerned. You take lead. I'm not going to send my men up there in that door first. You lead. Either that or you leave your buddy down here. I've seen people that are cranked up to the gills. You guys stayed the night at the American Suites. You're probably partying all night with Martin at the front desk. I partied with him too. Trust me, I know the drill.
Martin.
Someone say Martin? You hear from Frank Aurello from Jersey. The background. It's your call, Odin. What's the matter? The Darius got your tongue? And your head?
Other than a certain penalty that he had, he doesn't have any sporadic, like, impulse of any kind. Have we?
We haven't determined what
he has a disorder. I haven't given it yet.
Yeah, we don't know what the disorder is.
I know what it is. I know what it is, but
He's coming down. That's the disorder.
Yeah.
Well, no, because I had 4 hours on this this hopped up state.
You got like 2.5 at this point moving forward. It was originally 4.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to figure out. Is like how much time do we have
left? You're sitting at about 2.5 right now.
Okay.
So, Omega, as you're watching Odin and Baker talk back and forth, you start to see them break away from the background. And the background just starts to dribble and drain in ones and zeros and different motif of sigils. They start moving in horizontal and vertical lines. They start going in diagonal lines and coming towards you and back. They look like computer code at this point almost as though you get a sense of delirium about you. It makes it really hard to distinguish depth perception. They're just kind of standing there in awe as these two talk back and forth in this diffused state. It's your choice, Agent Odin. We bring him or what?
I'm going to leave him here for the time being. I'm going to have him do some research for us. Let's head upstairs. I'll go talk to him real quick.
We'll be out in the hallway. We'll wait for you. Come on, Barkley. Come on, Aurelio.
All right, Omega. Here's the plan. We're going to head upstairs. I need you to cover the downstairs area. I need you to cover whatever or whoever comes down these stairs.
The stairs from how we got up here? Or?
This way. And I'll lead them outdoors and show them the way we came up. The same stairs.
The emergency stair.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of pretty much giving him like a kid's errand. You know, I'm just making him feel involved and not completely left out.
So is he just going to be stationed on the landing?
Yeah. That way
Well,
he's not
put me out in the open. Just put me out in the open.
You can use the building as cover. All right, heading upstairs with Agent Baker.
And his two men, you guys start making your way up the stairwell up to the 6th floor of the Potomac Gardens apartments. Baker grabs the handle to the door and he opens it up. And you see the entire hallway is bathed in darkness, except for flickering lights about 50 feet down on the left. It looks eerie. It almost seems ethereal, like you're seeing these flickering lights through fog or smoke or something like that. You get a sense of incense burning in the air. It just seems very eerie.
Nothing like how it smelled when we walked into Holy Boy's place.
No, that smelled more like booze.
Piquant.
And, well, you talking about before or this just a few moments ago?
Just a few moments ago.
Oh, a few moments ago. Yeah, definitely. I mean, you had that heavy taste of metallic copper in the air. Up here, you just get a feel of this pungent smell of incense that just permeates the entire floor.
Okay. Entering the room.
Well, you're not in the apartment yet. You're just coming out of the stairwell. And this is what you see looking down the hallway with all the apartments on either side of the hallway itself. And all the doors seem to be closed.
Okay.
Except for that one where the light is flickering out of.
All right, Baker. Which one's Darius's?
It's the one down on the end, down on the left.
Perfect. The creepy one with the light, right?
Yeah. And at this point, he's pulling out his sidearm. Pulls the slide partially back. Lead the way, Agent.
All right. Just don't try to shoot me with that thing.
Oh, I'm not going to. Trust me.
All right. Heading down towards the door.
As you look at Baker, by the way, I want you to imagine that his two men are still behind him. But one of them stays at the door. Only Frank and Baker go with you. Lead on.
All right. Are we at the door?
You're coming upon the door, and as you start approaching the door closer and closer, you see the light gets brighter coming out of the doorway. You see that the door itself is open, and you see a lot of candles positioned just inside the doorway.
Any noise? Music is just completely silent in this.
Make an
floor?
alertness check.
All right. That is 81. And I had to get under 50. So I failed.
Well, Baker rolled a 41 under 50. And he says to you, does this sound like crickets in the fucking hallway? What the fuck is going on?
Well, I don't like this feeling. Door's open, right?
It is open.
All right, step inside. What do we see?
As you step inside, you see candles strewn all about the place. You see bundles of wicker stacked up in the corners of the room. You see woven reeds covering the windows that prevent any of the early morning outside light from seeping in and diluting this primal feeling. And you see even more illumination coming from a far back room off to the right. This apartment looks like a mirror image of Holy Boy's apartment, one floor below.
All right, going to start moving towards the center of the room.
Okay. As you move towards the center of the room, you turn to the right and you see lights flickering from the center of this bedroom, where these candles irradiate through 7 skulls positioned on top of this trunk of wood. You see the face of Holy Boy. You see the face of Detective Haynes. You see the faces of these other individuals. And you hear a laughter coming from the back of the room as 3 men seem to materialize out of the darkness. Grizzly, Half-Tank, and Darius. We cut to the Charger hauling ass down the streets of DC as it makes its way towards a public storage facility.
All right. How far are we out, Odessa?
We're here.
All right. Who's the agent?
Yes.
Agent River.
Agent
River.
All right.
One
I'll
of
look
them.
for an obvious open storage facility and somebody who should be waiting for somebody.
You see an individual standing outside of one of the roll-up doors that is still closed. He's wearing a flannel and blue jeans. Got a hat and sunglasses on right now, even though it's still early in the morning. And he looks at the two of you as you roll up. And he doesn't move. He just still kind of just stands there.
Odysseus rolls down the drive window. Agent River.
Are you Odysseus or are you Okami?
I'm Odysseus. He's Okami. We understand that you might be able to help us with
Yeah,
our
look,
shopping
I'm
needs.
not going to... I understand that. I was just told to unlock the door.
How much time we got then?
12 minutes.
Okay. Thank you. And then we'll get out and go. If he doesn't want to chit chat, no problem. If we're not here for niceties, we'll just cut him off.
Yep.
You.
Please don't take
Odysseus
it
will-
personally, agents.
Well, I'm not saying that out loud.
Oh, okay.
No, sorry. I wasn't trying to be a bitch. But if he's going to play that, then we'll just go, how much time do we got? Thank you.
Yeah, you got 12 minutes.
Odysseus will back the car so that the trunk is facing the open door and get as close as reasonable, so that if we're gonna load up the car, it's not going to be a problem, and minimize anybody casually walking by seeing what's happening.
Okay.
All right, let's go in and see what we can find. I don't think that we need to loot this place, but let's see if we can grab things for Omega and Odin that we think they might need. And if there's anything there for us, great. Then we'll go.
Yep. What do we got?
As you walk up to the roll-up door, who opens it?
I will.
Okay. It grinds as it curls into the ceiling. You see dust waft out past you. And you all notice a tall figure dressed in black and clutching a large metal device aimed at the door. Closer inspection, you see that this figure is just a life-size cardboard cutout of former U.S. President Bill Clinton, wearing jazz blacks and holding a tenor saxophone. A single chain hangs from a lone bulb in the center of the ceiling, begging to be pulled.
All right, let's pull that chain.
Yeah. Soft light diffuses across this dust-filled room, and it just lends a sense of antiquity to the items stored here. And I'm going to describe what you see in this green box. There's a credenza against the left wall with 2 empty bottles of Smirnoff vodka on top and a badly tarnished dagger with an unusual symbol stamped on its pommel. On the opposite wall from the credenza is a dresser with a small chest on top of it. Against the back wall, you see a U.S. flag that hangs with an unusual shoulder holster with what looks like the handle of possibly a katana in it, but no blade. Tell me what you'd like to do.
Let's open the credenza. See, does the credenza have drawers first off?
You see that it has a set of dual panel doors, and that's it.
All right. Any other shelvings or anything else around that would look like it would hold weapons or anything?
In the credenza, or
Anywhere in the storage facility.
well, like I said, you got a credenza. You've got the dresser. It's got a box on top of it. It's got multi drawers. And against the far back wall is a flag with that unusual shoulder holster on it.
All right. Well, I'll just open the double doors on the credenza first. Okami, you want to take a look inside the box? Tell me what's in the box.
I think I'm going to take a look at that bladeless handle over there.
All right.
And also, the flag looks a little crooked. I'm going to straighten her out first, and then we'll move on.
Got it.
As you open up these 2 doors to the credenza, Adesso, you see 2 missiles for an FIM-92 Stinger shoulder-fired surface-to-air missile system that is in an opened U.S. Army ordnance crate. There's no launcher, just the 2 missiles. You also see that there are 6 metal cans, each large enough to hold a bowling ball inside of them, and each with the lid sealed.
Any markings on the cans?
No, but you do notice that 4 of these cans seem to have a like a ooze-ish film on the outside of them.
Okay. Is there any check I can make? Maybe helps me in tuning out what they are.
Are they
What
greasy?
the cans are? Or what the
Well,
film
not
is?
the cans, but what would likely be inside them. The missiles, those are interesting, but not very helpful to us. But what the cans may hold is probably much more pertinent.
No, they're just large cans, a little bit bigger than paint cans.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything around to open them? Screwdriver, paint can opener?
I'll
Or do they
hand
look? You said
Adesso
they were
my
sealed.
knife.
Pardon?
I'll hand Adesso my knife, my Tonto.
There's a knife
Flip
on
it
top of
around.
the credenza, don't forget.
Yeah, but that's got sigils on it. Mine's tested.
Do I recognize the sigils? Now, I'm going to use that knife, but before I do, I'd like to know if I recognize the sigil on the pommel. Or at least maybe not the sigil itself, but oh yeah, that's ACLO or something related to it. Or
Are you taking your time to look at now, or you want to look at what's going on in the credenza?
I want to open the cans. I'm going to
Okay.
need something to open the cans with. So that knife is there. I'd like to look at it first before borrowing Okami's Tonto, simply because it may be worth taking.
Okay. So you grab the blade, this knife. It's still in a sheath.
Okay. Do I recognize the sigil on the pommel? I want to give it a cursory look without really staring at it too much.
It almost looks reminiscent of something you may have seen during World War II. If you want to give me a history check.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, under 50. 24.
Hell yeah.
24. It looks like it's some kind of a German sigil. Although
Gotcha.
it doesn't, it's not your typical SS or your swastika.
Mhm.
It does have that feel to it. It's quite possible it could be from the Karotisha, which is a branch of the Nazis that were doing a lot of exploration and experimentation with the unnatural during the final years of Hitler's reign. Possibly still going on to this day, if you believe some of the rumors.
Got it. Okay, I'm going to take that with the sheath, open it up, and take the blade out and hope that I can pry open a can real quick.
Okay. You have 6 cans. Which can would you like to open? 1 through...
The one closest to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know which one that would be.
Well, we'll call can number 1. You pop it open and you see that there is a transparent gray ooze within. As it starts to wafe up, you begin to get this sense of calming about yourself. Just,
Get that for Omega.
hey, why not, you know? As you're looking inside it, though, you do notice that it has a human head inside of it.
Is it like preserved, like this is like some voodoo such?
Well, as you're looking at the head, you notice that the head looks up at you and blinks. And I need for you to make a sanity check.
Oh, shit. Damn. Okay.
Just had to open the can.
I just had to open the can, man. I can't wait till we get to the box. What's in the box? Under 62.
Good Lord.
36.
You take 1 point of sanity.
no, Jesus Christ.
Could have been worse. Could have taken it all.
Yeah.
You still have 5 more cans.
Okay. Does it do anything else besides blink at me?
No, but it shouldn't be doing that at all.
No, it shouldn't be doing that at all. But given our line of work, who the hell knows, man?
Hey, leave him alone. He ain't bothering no one.
Yeah, exactly.
Okami, as you readjust this flag, straighten it up, make it square, tell me what you do with this shoulder holster with this grip inside of it.
Well, you mentioned like a grip, like a katana handle. So that's definitely something that is what I end up using more often than not. So I want to take a look at this and see what this mystery is, why it's just a handle with no blade.
Okay. As you pull it out, it looks like a hiltless katana handle. It's about 10 inches long. But you notice that there seems to be some kind of a trigger that your forefinger and your middle finger would be able to cover over. And you feel that there's some kind of a tension to it.
Okay, well, I'm going to look over, make sure Adesso is, one, not making out with the head in the bucket, but two, swap and ooze, yeah, but make sure he's out of the way. I want to make sure that I have room to pull these things. Obviously, I'm not going to look into it and pull it. I want to pull it away, up, pointing down, depress the trigger.
As you depress the trigger, you feel this hum, and immediately this 3-foot blade ratchets out in a segmented fashion, and you feel almost like it jolts from your hand as the magnetic polarity pushes these segments out and locks this blade in place.
Go gadget.
You feel tension on the trigger once again.
All right, well, I want to check out the blade real quick. How does it seem durable, or is it like, I'll do a, kind of holding it up, testing it, feel the heft of it. Like, is it balanced? Like, is it more heavy like a machete in the front, or is it more like is it a suitable fighting blade?
Most of the weight is actually in the hand itself. It has a very sleek feel to it, and you could barely notice the segments of it. And it seems as though it's been designed as one blade that ejects out and is held in place through some kind of a magnetic coupling that keeps it moving one direction.
How long is it?
It's about 33 inches long.
So comparable to kind of a standard katana.
Little shorter.
Okay. Oh, awesome. Well, I will depress the triggers on it again and see if it retracts it.
And you feel the handle pull back towards you as the polarity reverses and pulls the segments back in.
Ooh, so now this thing is basically like a 10-inch katana, like 10 inches, and then I can turn into a full wakizashi or whatever.
That's correct.
Ooh,
and now it's like no metal you've ever seen before either. It has like a bluish red swirl to it, almost like you see those old Western guns that have been blued.
Yeah.
But imagine there's some rustic elements to it as well.
Does it feel modern in make or no?
You'd have to spend some time making that assertion.
Well, we only got like 9 minutes or however long, so I'll just grab it and I'll tuck it in my the back of my shirt right now, holster and all. I'm not going to try to figure out how to put it on right now. I want to finish searching the room so we can get out of there.
Okay. Adesso, you want to finish playing with the rest of the cans, or you want to move on?
No, I'm going to put the cap back on the can that I opened, and we're going to leave the cans alone. I'm going to be looking for. I'm going to be a little more cautious in looking inside the box.
The box on top of the dresser?
Box on top of the dresser, yeah.
Okay. It is a small chest. It's not locked. As you open it up, you see that there is a rusty steak knife. There's a note wrapped around its plastic handle that reads, "Ghost Slayer, brah."
Okay, all right. Anything else in the chest?
Nope, that's it. Just this cheesy ass looking blade.
All right. I'm going to take that. Is there anything else? Any other drawers? Anything?
There's 4 drawers to the dresser. There's nothing else in the credenza.
All right. We'll open drawer number 1.
Drawer number 1. You see there's a 12 gauge semi-automatic shotgun inside. Seems to have a box of shells right beside it.
Okay, we'll be taking that. And the
Yeah,
shells.
good for cleaning house.
Yes, street sweeper.
You
Yeah,
also
or
see that
sweeper.
there's a tied up handkerchief in the corner of the drawer as well.
Okay, I'll take a cursory look at that. Anything of interest?
There appears to be 9 12 gauge shells in there.
All right.
Stamped Hellfire on them.
Oh, definitely taking those. Yes.
What do those do?
They're basically incendiary 12 gauge rounds.
So they can shoot it and start things on fire?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're going to have to be careful, but it's a real good way to eliminate and clean like we are wont to do.
All right.
Drawer number 2.
Drawer number 2, you see a white manila envelope from AARP.
Okay. Anything in there?
There's someone's retirement plan.
Did I recognize the name on there?
You do not. In fact, there appears to be scribbled out, hashed out to the point where it is completely worn through the page itself. You also see down at the bottom of the envelope 5 9mm unfired bullets with strange sigils on them. And each sigil appears to be different.
Okay, those are worth taking. Anything else in the drawer?
That's it for that drawer.
All right, so I'll take the 9mm rounds.
Agent River comes up to you right outside the door and says, "Let's go, agents. Your time's up."
All right, I'm going to open...
Now, I'll let you have the option of either the third drawer or the bottom drawer. Pick one.
Which one's bigger?
The bottom drawer is bigger.
I'll open the bottom drawer.
Open them both. You're right there.
I was trying to think that too, but he said only one.
Only
Fuck
one.
him. I got a sword. A sword runs through the river that runs through it.
Oh.
You see a stack of loose graph paper, about 120 sheets worth,
Good eye.
scrawled across each page in increasingly deteriorating handwriting is scribbled the phrase, "I don't fear the werewolf, for I am the wolf." And it's just over and over and over. You see an empty Smith & Wesson MP 9mm pistol off to the side with dry blood on and in the barrel.
All right, I'll grab that and then I'll look at each. You had some artistic urge in you for some reason?
That's not me. I wouldn't be surprised if that's leftovers from the old Wasatch Mountains Ranger
Yep.
Station.
He grabs the chain and begins pulling it down and saying, "Come on, agents. Time is up."
Okay.
All right. Gotcha. So we got a semi-automatic 12 gauge with some Hellfire, a pistol, and some hopefully anti-werewolf rounds.
You said 9mm on those rounds?
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that should be on the head stamp on the back.
Well,
of the
hopefully they're
case.
not good against that.
Back in Darius Fontenot's apartment, Agent Odin, Detective Baker, and Detective Arello. The three of you stand facing Darius, Grizzly, and Half Tank, who stand on the other side of this macabre display of severed heads before you. I need for everybody to make a sanity check. Odin.
39, which is a pass.
Pass. You take 1 point of sanity damage. Aurelio immediately goes insane and runs out into the hallway. Baker takes 1 point of sanity damage as you hear Darius begin to speak. "I was lost when I was found. I was found by the wise. He offered to buy something from me that I did not know I was selling. My time. You know, he offered me $100 if I were to listen to what he had to say. He gave me $10 bills and told me there was an esoteric meaning hidden on all $10 bills. And then he gave me a link to a video that would unlock this secret. And to my surprise, I started to fold these bills. When I folded the second one, I started to feel something. A hunger. I drive. I can't explain. Kept me folding. 3, 4, 5, 6. When I got to the 7th, it was like an inner eye opened in my mind. I saw colors not found in nature. I saw people walking in pain. I saw people like me. I knew these girls that were so untethered. They no longer had tangent in life. They had no warmth to give. They were dead cold. But I could help them cross the barrier to get to the fire that yawned for them. And I released them from the pain of inertia, as I will release you from the pain of inertia. Do you want to roll for initiative now or next week?
I thought that was going to be next episode.
No.
Dude,
Next
that was
episode.
fucking good,
That was
man.
good.
That was good.
That was really entertaining.
Keep
I
all the
like
guns
that.
ablazing.
What do you want to do
We'll roll next week.
next session?
That was great, brother.
That was good.
All right.
I was looking at Tony and I'm like, oh, everyone's digging this. That's good.
I'm going to do a quick call to Coldwell on the phone.
Okay. I'm sorry. Are you going?
Okay. Talk to you later.
Forgot
All
you
right.
were
Let me know how it
supplying.
turns out. Out.
Tell him I said hi.
We'll be out in the hallway. We'll wait for you. Come on, Frank. Come on, other individual. I forgot whose name it is.
Joey.
Joey, come on, Joey. Thank you for joining us once again on Roll the Hard 20 podcast. Remember, you can find us and subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora Radio, iHeart Radio, Amazon Podcasts, and Audible. And if you like what you're listening to, be sure to leave us that 5-star rating and review. Don't forget about our YouTube channel at Roll the Hard 20. So if you're into watching and you want to help support this show, then head on over and hit that subscribe button. It really does help the show out. We can also be found in the wild on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, so don't forget to look for us there and check us out. You can also contact the show directly at rollthehard20podcast@gmail.com or head on over to the website at rollthehard20podcast.com, where you can download the current show directly, pick and choose past shows from our archives, or view our galleries. We've got a lot of stuff posted over there, so check us out. And finally, join us on our Patreon at patreon.com/rollthehard20podcast, where you can become a hard slinger and pick up swag. So until next time, keep your dice warm and your glass topped off as you roll those hard 20s.